Okay, so hello everyone and welcome to the Oxford Fintech Programme webinar. It's the 7th of May today and I'm Lindsay, your host, the Executive Education Consultant at the University of Oxford. With me today is Alexander. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, depending on where you're calling from. I'm Alex Whitehouse. I'm the Senior Customer Relationship Manager here at the University of Oxford Side Business School. So pleasure to see you all today.
Fantastic. Yes, we've got a real international group of participants today. So if you'd like to, you can write in the chat where you are in the world today. And it would be really nice to see you. Okay, a little bit of housekeeping before we start. This meeting is recorded and we shall send you out the recording shortly afterwards. Okay, today's agenda will tell you about the programme. We'll tell you what you can gain from the programme and Oxford itself, Side Business School, how you'll learn and how to manage the time management part of the programme, how many hours you'll need, etc. We'll go over the module structure and overview. We'll tell you about the faculty and how we can support you through your studies, and also the networking opportunities you can get from the Side Business School network. We've also got the online learning platform preview, and we'll tell you about the key dates and next steps. We'll have a Q&A at the end, so if you think of any questions as we go through, please feel free to write them into the chat and we'll go through them at the end. The questions could be addressed to Alex or myself or just generally about the programme. Okay, so a little bit about the programme. The programme generally is designed to give you knowledge and insights to understand the latest developments in fintech. So quite a lot has happened over the last 6 years, and we're looking at the impact it's had on the global financial services industry. We're also looking into the radical disruptions. So as well as all the emerging government policies that's had to happen from that, so I think we're looking at about 100 countries, and also what accelerated these events. We're also looking at the further long-term consequences. So you'll also reflect on what's good for society within those changes. The global scale of this impact is a $20 trillion industry. So we can guide you through. If you're a senior executive or in a management position, you must be able to successfully navigate all these environments. Maybe also you just want an enriched perspective of the topic, and you're very welcome to join us too. So the course itself is 7 weeks online. It costs £2,200, and that's a one-off payment at the beginning of the programme. It's designed for busy professionals, so you can balance your work and personal commitments all around it. We'll talk about the time management later on. It's a deep dive into the core innovations. So you've got blockchain, artificial intelligence, open banking, and central bank digital currencies that's fresh and in the business now. The programme itself, it's asynchronous, so you can fit it around your schedule, but it's enriched with numerous amounts of activities, tutor-led discussions, and live sessions. Okay, so what you'll gain from the programme. So Oxford Side Business School itself, we have several different programmes. This one is about fintech, but maybe afterwards you'd like to visit any of our other programmes. We'll give you the tools to develop and scale your organisation so you can apply them immediately into your role. You're also going to gain viewpoints from 4 different views. So we're looking at policymakers and regulators. We're looking at incumbent financial institutions, entrepreneurs, investors, and also the academics. So you've got the insights from faculty and also the industry professionals in the programme. Oxford itself was just ranked first in the Times Higher Education World University Rankings 2025 again, so you're definitely in good hands. We'll also give you frameworks that you can use with effective strategies implementing straight into your everyday profession. You can learn how to deal responsibly with all the rapid changes and maybe some impacts that happen from the innovative plans. You'll also gain the skills to examine multiple domains, such as banking, asset management, payments, cryptocurrencies, and trading. Alongside all that, you've got a global network of professionals from multiple industries that you'll be studying with. So great to network along the way. After you've finished, you'll gain a digital certificate of completion. And also you've got your peers to collaborate with and develop your ideas. Okay, so we'd like to hear from you now. You might be thinking if this programme is right for you. So let's think about now, please enter the poll. What's your main reason for considering this programme? Maybe it's to apply your fintech knowledge into your current role, maybe to accelerate your career in the financial services, a general upskill, or the Oxford networking opportunities. So I'll give you a few seconds just to fill in. Yeah. Okay. So we've got a winner to accelerate in the financial services. That's fantastic because the networking and career, the knowledge you've got from about 30 guest speakers from all around the world. So you can really draw on their expertise and implement it straight into your practice. Also, the networking opportunities, you'll learn alongside chief executive officers. We've got senior managers or directors, financial analysts, project managers. You might be in the private or public sector, business leaders and entrepreneurs. So all of those we can definitely help you with by joining us. Okay. So going a little bit deeper into how you'll learn, the structure of the programme is 7 weeks in total. The first week is the orientation week, so there's no study involved in it, but you'll meet your success team and make sure that you've got access to the platforms and tease out any first IT things. And then you've got the 6 weeks of modules after that. The recommended learning time, it's around 10 hours per week. So we say around because some people might be used to studying. It might be quicker just to go through the material. If you have been out of studies for several years, it might take a week or so to get your head back into learning space. So that's why the 10 hours around about, depending. There are some additional activities as well. So if you want to just do the basics, just to hit the targets of assessments, that's fine. But also there'll be additional tasks for those that have more time and want to go into it further. The technical requirements that you'll need is a good laptop with connections, with the latest updated modules, and then a headset so you can participate in the live Q&A sessions with your tutor and also with your peers. Okay, the content itself. So it's all easy to access online modules. I'll show you a little sneak peek into how it looks in a moment. The learning styles are very rich. So you've got a mixture of videos, quizzes, some infographics and some texts for reading. These are all downloadable, so you've got the transcripts and everything you can keep, so you could transfer it into your daily practices. That's available for about 6 weeks after the course is finished. The weekly live sessions, so you've got a discussion that's led by the tutor, and this usually contains information about the assignments. This cohort, they're planned for Mondays at 10:30, so that's UK time. These are recorded and you'll have your schedule planned out for the whole 7 weeks. So that's nice for you to plan your work and other commitments around it. All the recordings will be in your learning platform, so you can watch back at any time, again and again if you need to, or just the once if you missed out. There's also some webinars led by the programme directors. So you've got the Oxford academics who will talk through their latest research, which is wonderful because you can ask them questions as well and really get into your topic. It's quite a unique experience for just a short programme. The assessments themselves, so we'll show you how they're broken down in a moment, but basically you've got 3 exercises which make up 45% of your final grade. You've also got 6 quizzes attached to each module. This makes up 30% of your final grade. There's also 3 reflective tasks, which will make up 15% of your final grade, and 6 graded discussion activities, which make up about 10% of your final grade. I say about because there is a little extra 1%. Is that right, Alex?
That's correct. Yeah. So there's 1% that we hold back for what we call 100% completion. So engaging in every quiz, every exercise, every sort of session. For those completionists out there who want that 100%, that last percent is held back for people who engage with all the content.
Fantastic. I like that little surprise. Okay, the overall pass mark is 50%. And each of those assignments, you've also got tailored feedback from your tutor. So you'll have, I think it's about a week or so for them to mark it, and then you'll receive very detailed feedback from your activities. Okay, so here's the learning platform itself. It's delivered by Canvas. Some of you might have used it if you've done any online learning before. Canvas is very easy to navigate. You have the tiles set out, and week by week the learning materials are popped in there. It's very difficult to get lost in it, and it definitely can't be broken, so you can flick between very easily and follow the pathway of your assignments and things. They'll be all uploaded there. There's each module has a learning survey as well, and the content is very clickable, easy to navigate through. Modules are there, so you generally go from top to bottom, and it guides you through as you go through the pages. You've got there also a calendar, so you can also link this with any of your personal calendars and sync your work meetings and block out the time. It's all very high tech. Everything's there, and you can register for events. And like I said, upload any work that you need to. It's a great place to contact each other as well. You can set up your own personal profile. You can pop your LinkedIn link there as well, and communicate with anybody who might be in the same industry as you. So it's a great platform to connect with as well. The programs as well have an additional chat section or tool, so you'll be chatting as you go through and adding to any blog tasks there as well. So a lovely platform to navigate through. Okay, looking at the modules as well, we will pop into the chat a link for the actual brochure if you haven't seen it or you've lost it. It's there for you to take now. I will talk a little bit about the modules and what topics are in them. So module 1 is about the context. So you'll look at the introduction to disruptive change and the opportunities in fintech and financial innovations. With that comes a quiz. You've got a graded discussion and also a reflection. As you see here, the word count is 200 words, so a nice manageable amount for your first task. Module 2 goes through to policy and regulation. You'll look at views from policymakers and regulators, understanding how new regulations being created. So like I mentioned earlier, we've got these 100 countries to look through. Also supporting the growth of the fintech innovation ecosystems. Again, the assessment connected is a quiz, a graded discussion, and there's an exercise there as well. Module 3 is incumbents. So all the views appreciating complex challenges from traditional financial institutions as they go through this digital transformation, enabling operations better. So you've got assessments there with the quiz and reflection of 200 words. There might be some case studies involved in there as well, where you're looking at fresh real life examples. Module 4 goes into entrepreneurs. So there's 2 parts to this. The first one is views, so garner insights into startup successes. Some of our industry professionals are experts at startups, so they'll be giving you all their knowledge and all the challenges they've had in such a fast-moving industry. You've got the quizzes, an exercise and graded discussion that goes with that module as well. Module 5 continues into part 2. So you're exploring fintech from an entrepreneur's view, investigating peer-to-peer lending, digital identity and AI in finance. So really, really hot topic, a really useful hot topic at the moment. You've got the assessments to go there, the quiz and another reflection of 200 words. So the reflection would be about the content in the module. These exercises are changing as well. So as we go through, as new stuff comes out, the tutors will change the assignments to match that as well. Module 6 takes us into investors, academia and the future. So you're looking at views from investors. We've got quite a few of our special guests there. You've got unique perspectives from venture capitalists around the trends, VC filters and the techniques there. That has a quiz. And the final project is actually a video. So as you go through, you've got project-based, and you'll be building on this throughout the programme. And finally, you'll submit a 2-minute video. So really exciting, nice activities. Okay, so another poll, we'd like to hear from you. What challenges do you face in your career right now? So maybe it's keeping up with all this rapid technological change in the finance industry. Maybe it's navigating global market shifts and regulations. It could be building knowledge and confidence in fintech and innovations, or maybe just expanding your professional network. I think quite a lot of us work online, so it's nice to have the opportunity to expand and grow our international fintech network. Okay, I'll give you a few more seconds to fill in. Fantastic. Okay, so I'll just end the poll. Okay, lovely. So we have a winner with a whopping 83%. So building your knowledge and confidence. That's fantastic because at Side Business School, we offer a really solid learning experience. So not only do we have sort of this cognitive knowledge, we've also got the neuroscientific research that goes with it from obviously the Oxford experts. We've also got the next generation AI tech to help you learn. So our programs are really efficiently put together, especially for your busy professional situation. So this will really help build your confidence as well with this sort of innovative learning as well. You can also take those right back into your everyday profession. So definitely we can help you build knowledge and confidence. Okay, so talking about our wonderful faculty, we've got our professors, Nevarkan and Pinar. You can see them. They have quite a lot of things on YouTube as well. If you would like to search them on the internet, Pinar runs our lovely Oxford Tea Talk. So there's quite a lot of discussion about entrepreneurship and innovative ideas coming from Pinar. Near as well is our associate professor of business economics. And joining them, we have world-leading authorities in fintech. So really nice, unique mix of faculty and industry professionals. And obviously their research is cutting edge. So the very latest thinking, you can really inject that back into your work pool. Along joining them, we also have support teams. So from the get-go, you'll meet our lovely support team in the orientation week. They're there to help with anything non-academic. So maybe if something comes up from work, we're quite flexible. They can help you sort of work out your schedule and how you can still continue the programme, even if something pops up. They're also very nice. There's a tech support team as well. So if anything happens, we're right there for you. Okay, so I'm going to hand it over to Alex to tell us about the networking opportunities that we have.
Okay, thanks. Thank you for that. So I think the crux of this is that if you're able to pass the course, which is obviously a key component of this, then you'll be able to join the alumni community that we run at the Side Business School. And essentially, if you join that community, you'll be joining a setup of some 37,000 other ambitious professionals hailing from roughly 180 countries, covering everything from finance, law, marketing, healthcare, energy, and it's essentially one enormous sort of hub of learning and knowledge sharing, where you'll have access to the academics, the experts that are teaching you, and all the thought leadership that goes in, the research that goes in, the discussion boards on a wider scale, as well as invitations to events, options for coming to an alumni reunion event with your own cohort. So essentially come to Oxford, meet your cohort, meet the tutors and the faculty. So it's essentially a community. You're joining the Oxford community after passing this course. So it's worth considering that afterwards.
Fantastic. Thank you, Alex. Okay, moving on now to the certificate. So lots of people ask me about the certificate and what does it look like? So here we have an example of the certificate. But this is quite a valuable piece of tech, I must say. Our certificates of completion, you have to provide a strict in-date ID before we release it to you. And also obviously to have successfully passed the activities. It's got blockchain credentials and special technology to prevent any fraud. This has two options that you can have, or both. You can have digital badges, or you can have the digital certificates, or and both. So these are great. You can share them on social media. You might want to embed it into your website or your email signature. A really great sharing option. Excuse me. It's also really good if you're maybe in between jobs. Your employer or future employer can get in touch with us or they can certify that you have indeed completed this program. So a really nice way to showcase your competencies and also verify your abilities. So the latest tech has gone into this. So that's a really nice one to remember. It's more than just a certificate. Okay, fantastic. So the next steps, that's most of the informative part of the webinar information for you. The deadline for this cohort is the 19th of May, and we start on the 21st of May. So we're taking applications right up to the last minute. We can do invoices for your company. Also, Alex, would you like to tell us if there's maybe a group of you we can offer?
Yes, so part of my remit within the business school is to support what we call B2B booking. So we have a range of corporate discounts that we can offer when there's obviously more than one of you. So while the price is, as you see there, 2,200, that's not necessarily the case if there's a group coming. So we can typically move between 10, 15, maybe even 20% off, depending on how many of you are coming and whether there's potential for further group bookings down the line. It's not uncommon for us to roll this training out to organizations at different stages and at different levels over time. So please do consider that when considering this course.
Fantastic, thank you. So if you'd like to book a one-to-one with me, maybe talk through your individual situation, you're very welcome to. My booking link will be in the chat, and also we have there a scannable option. We also have the enrolments page, so you'll be asked to set up an account and pay, and then we'll send you an email about a week before the program starts to get you set up on the platform. The entry requirements, so as it's a professional development more than academic program, so there's no academic credits linked to our programs. We don't have any entry requirements, so we're not going to look at any English proficiencies or any of the other usual university entry requirements. We just would like you to have work experience, preferably in the field, so you can participate to the highest level with our sort of executive level participants as well. So like I said, if you'd like to book a call and just talk through suitability, I'm more than happy to do so. Just click on the link. Okay, so it's time for the Q&A now. So please submit any questions that you have into the chat and we can take a look and see. I'm just going to open the chats now and have a look. Don't be shy, pop in any questions that you might have for us. And in the chat, you've got some really useful information. Okay, we've got a question from Charles. Another cohort planned in later months. Yes, we do. So at the moment, our website is showing the May intake. So everything's guided for that. After May, you should see some other dates pop up. There is September and October, I believe. So there will be a couple of sessions later on around autumn time. Okay. What if a person's not able to pass due to his busy schedule? So we will have a look at your schedules. And like I said, you have the support team there. Alex, would you like to maybe expand on that a little bit?
Yes, of course. So we have a dedicated customer success team that you will be introduced to once enrolling. And they're essentially here to fulfill whatever requirements you might have or any support that you might need. So essentially, it's self-directed, as we've said, largely self-directed. It's designed to fit in alongside your day-to-day life. If you're unable to pass because of a schedule, that would suggest that you've been unable to engage with some of the assessments. What I would say to that is that wherever extensions are required, we can make allowances for that within reason. So it's if you miss a live session, it's recorded. If you have to, if you're struggling with an assignment deadline, we can extend that for you. So just please do get in touch with our support team with any concerns of that nature that you have once you've enrolled. Yeah.
Fantastic. We've got a really good question here from Rishi about the programme covering growth of mobile money and mobile wallets. If so, to what extent? So this is a really nice question because I think there was a module that covers a lot of that. If this is an area of interest to you, you can always ask the tutor more about it. And also maybe that's an area you'd like to go for your final project. So that's a discussion you can extend to the tutor themselves. But definitely that's a hot topic and you'll be looking at how that's developed over the last 6 years and there'll be lots about that. Okay, we've got from Evgenia, if I miss the homework deadline during one of the modules, is it critical? You've got quite a lot of time actually for the deadlines. So again, you'd be in touch with our success team as soon as you knew the situation. We can be very flexible, as Alex said, so it's best just to get in touch. We won't let you fail, basically, and we'll do our best to be as flexible as possible. The typical pass rate. Alex, do we have any data on the typical pass rate?
People are usually landing around the 80% mark. I'd say it's people typically score well. That they're on here because they have an interest in the core material, so it doesn't come as a shock to them. Yeah, I'd say 80 to 85% is the average pass rate, but there's no pressure to hit that. Obviously, we'll accept the minimum if required.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, if you're feeling troubled at any time, it could be an academic challenge, it could be a personal challenge, it could be just a work scheduling issue. That's what the support team are there for. So please do immediately contact them. They're lovely as well when you meet them in the first week. They're very nice, approachable people. Francis, okay, yes, you have enrolled. Yes, thank you. You'll be traveling on the 21st of May. I actually got the schedule, so I can send that to you via email later after this webinar. Okay, is this program useful for the knowledge in starting B2B fintech companies? Yes, absolutely. So Pina, our tutor, is the whiz at entrepreneurship. So she would definitely guide you in the best practices. Personal finance apps, again, this is a great idea for your assessments. So I can always already see the brainstorming happening as you go. And this is wonderful. So if you're chatting with the groups and you're networking, or not even in networking, a tutoring session, you might be broken into smaller groups. So it's a great sort of way to bounce ideas off each other and also the tutor. Future cohorts, yes. The one after May, I'm not exactly sure, but it will show on the website shortly. I think it's September and October.
Yeah, it'll be in the autumn.
Yeah. Okay, program updated. Yes, so it depends how close together the cohort is to each other. So the materials they're regularly updated, whether it's for each cohort. I presume there are some tweaks and changes as the research comes out, but whether it's each cohort, because we have several per year, but I should think definitely every 6 months or so it's updated. Do you think that's right, Alex? Is there any?
That's correct. So there's a feedback process. There's a full review process that goes on, looking at feedback from participants after every cohort, and that wherever possible is fed back to the faculty with kind of a view to the material and the content that's being taught. So perhaps not every cohort has a refresh, but we do frequent refreshes on content to make sure that it's bleeding edge essentially as to what is out there currently within the financial markets. I would also say that the guest speakers that come in are often updated to reflect, real events. So you're talking to world experts who are currently in that space.
Yep, amazing. And Side Business School, we want to give you the cutting edge, latest information. So it's hot topic for us. Okay, we've got a lovely question from Rajiv about, will we have access to this business school library and resources? That's a very good question, Alex. Is the Oxford Library there?
Yes, so you'll have access to the full Bodleian Library resources. So that's case studies, reading materials, Oxford. So so yes, you'll have access to all of that as part of this course.
Fantastic. And that's, like I said, about the 10 hours around about time you might want to deep dive into that library and spend hours in there. So that's really great.
There's the content that will get released at the beginning of each week, and then there's opportunities for wider reading, further reading that will be referenced should you wish to go further into any one area.
Yep. Okay, we've got a lovely question from Charles. What content in the course is particularly relevant in capital markets technology? I would say all of it. Alex?
Yeah, it's obviously fairly relevant. It's covered in the modules. So yes, it's yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, remember that you've got this Q&A with your tutor, so they are the ones to ask more specifically if you'd like to go deeper into it. Okay, Usman, I've been working PCI career, absolutely. So yeah, if you've been in an industry, for example, for 5+ years, it's also good because, like we said, it's the freshest information. You're also networking. So if you're in any industry within that financial sector, it's going to really boost your career. Afterwards, as well, as Alex mentioned as well, there's networking and further webinars, and you've got this lifelong membership to the Oxford community. So growing in your career it's not just for this 7 weeks, it goes on and on. Obviously we can't promise anything career-wise. It's up to you to do all the work, but we have everything there for you to take advantage of. Okay, does the course cover anything about financial crime, mitigating strategies, policies for fintech industries and such? Absolutely. So this is a really hot topic. You're covering that in the first half of the programme, and you may continue to do that as your project as well.
Yeah, policy and regulation certainly covers a lot of that in the first two modules. So it's a key topic.
Okay, from Sina, a lovely level of access do participants have to fintech leaders, investors, or alumni during and after the programme? So during the programme, you have access to your professors and leaders. They're there as well if you have any additional questions. So the level of access, as in how much time would you spend with them? So you've got definitely the one live session per week and then the academic sessions. You'll be able to shoot them a question every time you have one. After the programme as well, some of our people set up like WhatsApp groups and things, don't they, and continue. The alumni groups, like I said, they have the webinars. So I would say a high access. Would you agree, Alex?
Yes, agree totally. So the sort of network that you're working in, we often hear on these courses, certainly this MBA and others like it, that people actually get their next job from somebody that they met on the course, or the contacts, or there's a network in there that is incredibly sort of powerful, particularly if you're looking for a slight career change or going into a different area of the finance industry. You'll likely meet somebody in that space now. So that's a big part of it. And I'd also just add that the guest speakers that come on these programs are often, current, investors or policy setters or people in that space now, and they've come on to offer that expertise. And of course, you'll have access to those speakers, and we'll be able to ask them questions and engage with them, outside of sessions. So it's a big part of it, yeah.
Fantastic. Usman's also written here the payment card industry. Now, funnily enough, one of the guests is from Visa, one of the executives, and also we've got the head of the British banking service totally. So absolutely, payment card industry is another hot topic. So I can see from your questions that everybody has the right idea. Definitely your questions. This is definitely the program for you. If you're thinking in that way, this is definitely a good one. Okay, any other questions? Feel free to put them in the chat. We still have a few minutes of the webinar time. I'll give you another minute. So if you're thinking about your time management at the moment, if you can squeeze it in for May, remember that the program is asynchronous, so we can fit around your schedule. The live sessions are recorded, so you can watch back, although we recommend that you try to join the live session so you can get your questions in. And absolutely, we're flexible with schedules. So.
And just that point around, you've enrolled and when do you get access? So one of the customer success team should be in touch pretty soon, really, to give you access to the platform, the Canvas platform, which will have all of that content on. So that should happen imminently, I would say, imminently.
Yeah. Okay, so there's no further questions. Please feel free to reach out to me if you'd like to. If you think of something later that you'd like to ask, we're more than happy to have a one-to-one or just email. That's fine as well. So you've got the scan to enroll. We'd be very happy to see you with us and join our Oxford community. Hopefully you can join us in May. If not, then we'll see you later on in the autumn. Okay, so from myself and Alex and Side Business School, thank you so much for spending this last few minutes with us, and we hope to see you soon. Goodbye.